Lamar City Council regular meeting Tuesday, September 17, 2024. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have roll call, please.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Wick.
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Here.
Bruns.
Here.
Hick.
Here.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I'd like to welcome everyone today to the council meeting. We open with our general discussion. Remember, at the general discussion, we ask you to come forward, identify yourself, and address. Remember, we cannot act on anything that you are bringing to the podium, but we will listen to almost anything. Any citizens like to speak today? Seeing none approach, we will go to the Thumbs Up Award. Mark.
Thumbs up to Wise Eye for 5 years of brewing great beer.
Okay. Awesome. Clark?
Thumbs up to the big bash that'll happen downtown this weekend. I'm doing it ahead of time because I can't attend, but it's always a very good time, so a little promotional shout out. That's a good time down there, so put it on your calendars.
Brian?
Pass.
Pat?
Remember the microphones last.
Oh yeah, I got it right here.
Thumbs up to the Northwest Iowa College Golf Tournament. Fantastic, and a lot of teams in the area. So thanks to everybody that is involved with it, sponsors, volunteers. They do a really good job with it.
I will echo that comment because I have been able to work both days there. Dan Gray does an outstanding job with his committee of getting volunteers, and the quality of the kids that they bring in is wonderful. They're great kids. They're very complimentary. Coaches are complimentary, so I know it's a well-run golf tournament. Also, thumbs up to 1410 KLEM on your 70th anniversary and your gala coming up Thursday night?
Yep,
Tomorrow, I'm sorry. Wednesday, the 18th, 5 to 7 at Corkett. But all the advertising and everything I've seen, everything has been great. And so congratulations to Clem and their 70th year. Consent items, moving on. All items listed under consent items will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a request is made prior to the time the council votes on the motion. Today we have 4. Approval of September 3rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes. List of bills for period ending 9/13/24. Monthly financial statement for August 2024. A renewal of the liquor licenses for La Fiesta, Knights of Columbus, and 2 temporary premise transfers to the KCs. There is, in addition to that, a temporary premise transfer of liquor license to Knights of Columbus for the Lamar's Olson Concert Bash on September 21st to the fairgrounds. It was an emergency item added less than 24-hour notice due to last-minute application transferred due to weather. Justin, do you want to speak to that just a little bit?
Thank you very much for asking me to speak on this. What we've got going on is the weather coming up. We have our outdoor event that has the Knights of Columbus is doing the alcohol. If the weather turns bad like it did for the ice cream bash and we had lightning at 9 o'clock at night and we shut the whole thing down, for the safety of everybody, we're making a contingency plan where if this weather pattern stays and we want to pull this off, we've got $25,000 of raised business funds that we want to make sure we give this community a concert. So we're working right now with the ABD and with our insurance carrier to see if we can, what the latest time frame is we can use to transfer our license from the downtown space to Century Hall. So there's a minimum period there where insurance says you can't transfer it less than so many hours. We're looking for that answer right now. What we're looking for from City Hall is, or City Council is, if they give us the approval, if ABD says you can do it, insurance says we can do it, do we have the support of the city council to make that transfer. But we're still working on those details. We're looking for a tentative approval if we have to go that route.
Questions?
It's all been approved by safety on a temporary move.
Yeah, we just inspected the building out there, Clark, and it's good to go, so no
So,
problems.
yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like the smart thing to do, so.
Okay.
How do you have to?
Are you moving the music too? Sorry about that, but you're moving the whole thing then, right? The concert?
Yeah, if the decision's made, we would move the concert, all the bands would go inside Century Hall. If we're still working with Fairgrounds, if they approve it as well, we would put the food trucks outside the building. So that way, if the weather does turn out to be okay, the food trucks can still operate. But we need the blessing from the fairground board still, before we can do that part of it.
What's your drop dead time? I mean,
We don't know yet. Oh, we have a board meeting set for tomorrow at noon.
No, but I meant like Saturday morning or Friday at 6 o'clock.
For all the setup, the production, we need to have our decision made Friday morning, probably at the latest.
Okay.
Do we roll the dice or do we not?
No, that's okay. So even though it's an action item, can we approve it sort of in a contingency stage as an action item?
It's a consent item
Or consent item, I mean, sorry?
altogether.
But it's okay that it's contingent, okay.
And the sooner you know, the sooner we can help share that information so people aren't confused. But
Yeah.
hopefully the weather holds up and we can just do it outside.
Absolutely. We've already printed signage too that says the event has been moved, so
Oh, great.
the planning's underway, but yeah, let's cross our fingers.
Good thinking.
All right, thank you.
Motion to approve consent items 1 through 4.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to action items. Action item 1, the ISG services agreement for O'Toole Park. Attaches a service agreement with ISG to provide preliminary design work on O'Toole Park renovations. The project will eventually be part of the next community betterment projects that will run through the Lamar's Area Betterment Foundation. The projects were determined after the community, Lamar's Area Betterment Foundation, and the city provided input and fundraising for those projects that will begin this fall. Administration recommends council approve the agreement. The financial impact, the preliminary design costs will be covered by the city using loss funds as part of the city's contribution to the overall cost of the project. Further discussion will be had with council once ISG has provided an up-to-date cost analysis and concepts of all the projects.
Okay, so if you guys remember how CBP2 worked, they were essentially city projects. The city took the lead on making sure that they were done. But Betterment Foundation fundraised for them. And plus there was a state grant that we got. So this is no different. We're going to take the lead in this project anyway. What isn't determined yet is, I think you're all aware that at some point, Betterment Foundation will ask for and expect a city contribution to all these projects. The amount we're going to do has not yet been determined by the council. So we can look at this in order to get the project moving, because they're going to start their fundraising hopefully this fall for the projects. But in order to get the project moving so it can be constructed hopefully next year, we need ISG to get going on this stuff. So we can look at this cost as eventually being our contribution to the projects anyway. So that's really what this is.
Good. Any other questions?
Motion to approve the agreement with ISG to provide preliminary design services for O'Toole Park in a not-to-exceed amount of $35,315.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it, but for further clarification, this is just ISG on O'Toole at this point. It is no other,
None of the other budgets.
this is strictly O'Toole Park. Okay, thank you.
Still second?
Yep, still second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on. Action item 2, Key Avenue and 24th Street Southwest Traffic Study. Attached is a services agreement with Stanley Consultants, Inc. to evaluate the intersection of Key Avenue and 24th Street Southwest. The study will determine if the intersection warrants additional traffic control. Currently, traffic on Key Avenue is stopped at the intersection. With the increase of traffic due to recent development, a four-way stop or even traffic signals may be needed. The administration and the Public Safety Committee recommend that the council approve the study. The financial impact, the $6,800 expense will be paid from the road use tax fund.
No matter what happens in that intersection, you're gonna have to have county involvement, correct? It will, it's a county road, I can't believe you will not have to have some sort of county involvement.
It does go into the center line, so it's the center, right now it's the center line of Key. And then at that intersection, as you turn west, it's the center line of 24th Street.
That answer your question?
No,
Just wait, I might not be done.
I didn't think you were, because actually it'd be center line of C-38, everything north, center line, it would be city, and the rest would be center line south of that would be county.
North and west of the intersection, right?
Correct.
No, north and south.
Okay, so the north,
Because we own that ground.
the northwest quadrant.
Okay.
And I believe, but we don't have a map in here anymore, but the southeast quadrant also is county.
No,
It's screwed up.
no, the northwest and the southeast, northeast are city. Anything south of C-38 is gonna be county, right?
North.
Oh, we're not at C-38 though.
Yeah.
We're on 24.
We're on 24th. I apologize, I sound like an idiot. Here, I'm turning my mic on. Okay, I'm on 20, you're right, I apologize. I was thinking C-38, I was thinking C-38.
Yeah, but your concept is still right, it is partially.
County.
There is county involved.
I was, for some reason, I was thinking C-38, that's my bad. Look at that, I wasted 7 minutes.
Did you get that quote? Thank you.
Well, anyway, so we,
And I think we discussed at Public Safety that the county-controlled parts already have a stop sign. Am I right? That's.
yeah, so Key Avenue currently stops.
Yeah.
That stops north-south.
Okay, all right, that is my bad.
Yeah, so this was brought up of public safety, and we knew it could have been an issue, potentially, especially when Love's built, knowing that traffic was going to increase at that intersection. And then, you know, if anything else develops in that intersection, the traffic's going to only increase. So, right now, all the east-west traffic, if you're not familiar with, if you're not paying attention to signage, you might not be aware that the east-west traffic stops, or don't stop.
Right.
I mean, so.
And they're going at a pretty good speed. That's kind of the other part.
Both ways.
Yeah, so we want to see, you know, this would be the first traffic study we've done at that intersection since Love's has been open. So let's at least see what's changed there, and whether it warrants anything.
Well, I think you're gonna see, additional bicycle traffic.
And that's kind of one of the
Also,
concerns I had
yeah,
because of,
and-
with plywood opening up, there's gonna be more traffic coming there and it's not
I
a
think,
great intersection.
Mark, I don't know what you've kind of got going development-wise in that area. Anything at this point?
Not imminent.
Okay.
But
I
on
think it would-
the
I think it would be-
plan,
Yeah, but I think it would be good to take a look at it.
Can we just save the money and just put the stop signs in?
I'm with you on that.
Well.
It's actually pretty good.
That's not the most insane question, but the
Yeah.
problem you may get there is typically when somebody complains or if there's gonna be an accident. I mean, if somebody brings it up, in order to, put up stuff like this at intersections, it is recommended that traffic studies be done. That way you have something to fall back on, when you put them up. So that's the only thing I would worry about.
Recommended but not
Just
required.
slide them up there.
Right.
And I think it's probably good to know, we know that the traffic has increased out there, especially the truck traffic, so it would be nice to know if that is controlled properly.
Yeah. That was all.
Has there been any accidents at that intersection?
Had three good ones. We actually had to use the jaws of life out there already. Because there's good speed through there, like Mark said, I mean, so, I think the study's a good idea on our end for what's recommended. Now we're gonna add more bicycle traffic too, and as that develops out there, like I said, we've got homes out west of there now, corporate office. There's a lot more traffic out there with loud support. Yeah, we've had three good vehicle collisions out there.
When would they do the study?
Immediately.
Would it make sense to do it after plywood opens?
Would it count bicycles?
They're only gonna count the traffic.
Yeah, because it's a weighted thing, right?
It's a traffic count.
Okay.
So it says within a month.
Okay.
Brad.
And over what period of time?
Usually
Well,
about-
as soon as we approve this and sign this, they would have, their draft memo done, their initial review done within 4 weeks, and the final memo completed within 1 week.
I mean, is it like a 2-day measurement, a week measurement?
It's like, yeah, like a 2-day measurement.
Okay.
That's all they did down there.
Collect 12-hour traffic counts.
Well, I'd be for either Brian's action of just circumventing the whole thing and just getting it done, or the study, and it sounds like the study's the way the chief thinks we should go, so.
Yeah, and they'll tell you more things, like just slapping signs up doesn't always cure things. Doesn't need to be signs, doesn't need to be flashing lights, doesn't need to put in rumble bars in the street, I mean,
Turn lane.
yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff that comes out of that study, which is good for us.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Stanley Consultants, Inc. in the not-to-exceed amount of $6,800 to perform a traffic study at the intersection of Key Avenue and 24th Street Southwest.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Moving on. Item 3. Stanley Consultants, Inc. Services Agreement, Traffic Signal Replacement. Stanley Consultants, Inc. was previously hired to review downtown existing traffic signal configurations and equipment. Their review found that the signal arms, heads, and poles are over 25 years old, deteriorating, and will need replacement soon. In contrast, the traffic signal cabinets and controller equipment at each intersection have been recently upgraded, are working properly, and do not need replacement. Stanley Consultants then performed a signal warrant analysis on the 3 intersections. Only the Central Avenue and Plymouth Street intersection meets traffic signal warrants. Plymouth Street and First Avenue West warrant all-way stop controls, while Central Avenue and First Street North warrants a 2-way stop control with Central Avenue uncontrolled as the primary route. 3 different funding options were explored. Only the Central Avenue and Plymouth Street intersection would be eligible for IDOT funding due to the warrant analysis. STBG funding would be an option but would not be available until fiscal year '29. The Public Safety Committee met to discuss the studies and options. It was determined that all downtown intersections should be replaced, with the Plymouth Street intersections being the priority. Administration and the Public Safety Committee are recommending proceeding with the project immediately. The financial impact is the project should proceed immediately and be funded using either RUT or lost funding. Previous estimates are at $250,000 per intersection.
Any clarification?
We really need the stop
I
sign,
think we'd read it
or I
again.
mean the
No,
stoplight
so
at
here-
the north.
Yeah, so I don't think, we've done this in the past, the topic has come up in the past, especially Central and First Street North, that the previous study showed that shouldn't be a stoplight, shouldn't be a traffic signal. It could be something else, but it doesn't need to be signaled because of varying reasons, traffic counts and safety and all that stuff. So we knew we were never going to get that intersection covered by any of the normal funding sources. That was always going to be on the city anyway. But since the other two traffic signals are on the state highway, they are eligible for grants and funding from the state. But those have to go through this analysis. You know, certain criteria has to be met in order to be eligible. Like I said here, the Central and Plymouth Street intersection does meet that criteria. Right. So that intersection would be eligible for contribution from the state. But the Central, not Central, Plymouth and First Avenue West does not meet criteria. For whatever reason. So that DOT would not help